tucked up in the far northwest corner of Montana is a unique environment that's full of an amazing diversity of plants, animals, and people. The Yaak. It lies at the southernmost tip of a narrow belt of inland temperate rainforest that extends hundreds of miles north into Canada. With its low, rolling mountains thick with hemlock, larch, and cedar, the Yaak is not typical prime Wolverine habitat, yet they persist there. And the low elevations and lush forests of this area may be a boon to Wolverine in the coming decades. As the climate warms, the character of the Yaak landscape is predicted to change much slower than at higher elevations where Wolverine currently persist. This will make the Yaak a useful refuge for hosts of birds and mammals, wolverines included, as they shift northward with their preferred habitat types. The states of Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana completed a large camera survey of wolverine presence this winter. However, there was only one survey station scheduled in the Yaak. Because of the special nature of this area, the Yaak Valley Forest Council wanted to ensure a more complete coverage of the Yaak, as well as get the word out about Wolverine. So we partnered with the Montana Outdoor Legacy Foundation, Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks, and Friends of Scotchman Peaks Wilderness in order to deploy an additional camera station in the Yaak and create educational events around our work.
This really does. There.
We set our station up in January, but heavy snows made for a quiet month in the mountains with no photos to show from our camera station. So we relured and hoped for the best on our second check.
Remind me to wear rubber gloves when you take these down. So just put up another deer leg and we'll bait, use a bunch more lure, hopefully put a bunch of lure on the deer leg and then back up where we had first come in and bait the side up and then hope that we'll have better luck.
Here's our lure cup. Take a look in there. Oh, such goodness. A wolverine will not be able to resist this.
On our second and final check in early April, the snow down low was starting to disappear, but up at our station there was much more snow than a month before. We entered a winter wonderland and hoped we had caught something on the camera this time.
I know, better than that one. We're up here, gonna go take our station down, see if we got anything this time, because we struck out last time. Here's to hoping.
It didn't look like our bait had been touched, and there was apparently plenty of camera memory left.
That doesn't look good.
We would check if there were any photos on the camera once we were back at the truck. We took down our station, packed up, and waved goodbye. Back at the truck, we plugged our memory card into the reader and got a pleasant surprise.
I like to play in the snow, you know, and shiver and shake in the snow, ho ho, and throw a snowball through the sky and build a snowman tall as I, and on my sleigh go whizzing by. I like to play in the snow. I like to play in the snow, you know, and shiver and shake in the snow, ho ho,
and leave my footprints on the ground,
and break some ice with crackling sound, and build a slippery sliding mound. I like to play in the snow. I like to play in the snow, you know, and shiver and shake in the snow, ho ho, and feel the snowflakes in my face.
put on some skis and win a race,
And skate around an icy place. I like to play in the snow. I like to play in the snow.
Though we didn't get any photos of Wolverine, a station just to the south of ours in the Cabinet Mountains did. Given the many sightings of Wolverine in the Yaak and Cabinets, and the nearby detection of Wolverine on this survey, We know this phantom of the woods is out there, along with all the other wildlife our mountains contain. And thanks to the partnership of our local schools, so do our kids. Yaak Valley Forest Council Education Coordinator Shauna Kelsey explains.
The goal of the education side of the Wolverine project was to shed some light on this elusive animal that lives in our mountains. We showed the nature documentary Wolverine Chasing the Phantom to 7 middle school and high school science classes, the elementary after-school program, and the Yaak Rural School. For the Yaak School and the after-school program, the kids also made plaster casts of Wolverine footprints. We encountered a variety of misunderstandings about the animal when asking baseline questions before showing the film. Some of the students were confused between raccoons, skunks, and wolverines, and even how wolverines and wolves must be related because of their similar names. Once the kids watched the film, they asked several questions, showing genuine interest in what they could see was a tough, determined animal. Following the classroom visits, we organized a field trip with 35 of the after-school program students to give them a hands-on example of the work of wildlife biologists. The kids set up 4 field stations on private land with game cameras, stinky lure, and roadkill deer legs. The kids loved the experience, fighting over the deer legs, taking big whiffs of the lure, and jumping in front of the game cameras. While we were not able to capture any photos of wolverines from those particular field stations, the value of the activity was clear. The kids got to be wildlife biologists for the day, and they loved it. In the end, the students all gained a greater understanding of wolverines, an animal they may have heard of but didn't know much about. By learning about the wolverine and knowing that they do exist in our backyard, the kids have a better grasp on the vastness and mystery of the mountains and the intricate web of life they support.